Have you ever wondered if one simple nightly drink could help your body heal from the inside out? For months, I kept seeing short videos and posts online, all talking about a bright golden red drink made with turmeric and tart cherry juice. People claimed it reduced inflammation, helped them sleep, even made their joints feel younger. I'll be honest, I was skeptical. It sounded like another internet trend. But I've always believed that some of the best remedies are hidden in plain sight, in nature, in our kitchens, in traditions we've quietly forgotten. So, I decided to run a small experiment, not in a lab, but in my own home. For 7 nights, I drank 1 glass of this mix, turmeric, tart cherry juice, and a pinch of black pepper, before bed. What I experienced over those 7 days went beyond what I expected. My sleep changed. My mornings felt different. My body responded in subtle, almost invisible ways, until one day, I realized I was waking up without that usual stiffness or fatigue. But before I tell you what happened, we need to understand why this combination could make such a difference. What is inflammation, really? And how do simple foods like turmeric and cherries play such powerful roles inside the human body? So tonight, let's take a calm, honest journey through the science, the tradition, and the results of the golden red drink that fights inflammation. 1. Understanding inflammation. Before we talk about turmeric, tart cherries, or any superfood remedy, we need to meet the quiet villain that hides behind so many health problems: inflammation. Most people hear that word and think of swollen joints, puffy skin, or infection. But inflammation is far more subtle, and far more universal. Picture your body as a vast network of highways, your blood vessels carrying nutrients, oxygen, and messages from one organ to another. Under normal circumstances, it's smooth traffic. Then something goes wrong, maybe you eat too much processed food, stay up late, or experience constant stress. Suddenly, microscopic accidents begin happening on those highways. Cells collide, debris builds up, small fires spark. The immune system sends emergency crews, white blood cells, chemical messengers, heat, swelling, to repair the damage. That's acute inflammation, the good kind, the kind that heals wounds and fights infection. But what happens when the emergency never ends? When your body keeps releasing those same chemicals even after the crisis is over? That's chronic inflammation, and it's like a fire that keeps burning inside you, low, invisible, but constant. Over time, it damages tissues, stiffens blood vessels, slows metabolism, and confuses your immune system. Scientists now link chronic inflammation to nearly every major disease: arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, even depression, and Alzheimer's. You might not feel it directly, but your body whispers clues: morning stiffness that doesn't fade, foggy concentration, skin irritation, low energy, bloating, restless sleep. It's your body's way of saying, I'm still fighting something. The modern lifestyle keeps this internal alarm ringing: processed sugars, refined oils, lack of movement, constant scrolling, poor sleep, emotional stress. Your body doesn't distinguish between a physical wound and emotional worry. Both trigger the same chemical responses. But here's the hopeful part: just as food and habits can fan the flames, food and habits can also calm them. Nature built its own firefighters: fruits, herbs, and spices rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that tell the immune system, you can stand down now. Turmeric and tart cherries are 2 of those gifts, one golden, one red, and together, they speak directly to that hidden fire. As you listen to the rest of this episode, remember this simple truth: inflammation is not your enemy. It's a signal. When you give your body the right support, that signal fades, and healing begins. Let's meet the first hero in this story, the golden healer that has guarded human health for more than 4,000 years, turmeric. Segment 2, the golden healer, turmeric. Long before laboratories and clinical trials, there was the kitchen, and in the heart of almost every South Asian kitchen sat a small jar of golden powder called turmeric. My grandmother used to call it the healer's dust. If you had a sore throat, she'd stir it into warm milk. If you scraped your knee, she'd mix it with ghee and make a quick paste. When someone in the house was tired or achy, she'd simply say, "Haldi lo." Take turmeric. Centuries later, modern science is still catching up to that wisdom. The power of curcumin. The secret behind turmeric's reputation is its active compound, curcumin, a bright yellow polyphenol that scientists call a bioactive powerhouse. In laboratory studies, curcumin has been shown to switch off multiple inflammatory genes and enzymes, especially NF-kappa B, the same molecule that turns on inflammation during injury or stress. By calming NF-kappa B, curcumin lowers the body's levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, tumor necrosis factor, TNF-alpha, and interleukin-6, IL-6, all key markers of chronic inflammation. One meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, 2019, found that taking curcumin for just 4 weeks reduced CRP levels by nearly 30% in adults with metabolic syndrome. More than anti-inflammatory. But curcumin doesn't stop there. It also acts as a potent antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals that age our cells. Some researchers believe this dual action, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, is why turmeric shows promise in studies on arthritis, Alzheimer's, depression, and even cardiovascular health. In one randomized controlled trial from Phytotherapy Research, 2021, curcumin supplementation improved joint function and lowered pain scores in osteoarthritis patients almost as effectively as ibuprofen, without the stomach irritation. The bioavailability problem. Still, there's a catch. Curcumin by itself is poorly absorbed. The liver breaks it down quickly, and only a trace reaches the bloodstream. Traditional healers solved this centuries ago without knowing the chemistry. They paired turmeric with black pepper or healthy fats like ghee or coconut oil. Today we know why. Black pepper contains piperine, which boosts curcumin absorption by as much as 2000%. So when you sprinkle pepper into your turmeric milk or this tart cherry drink, you're not just adding flavor, you're activating the medicine. More than a spice. Beyond science, turmeric carries symbolism. In Indian weddings it's brushed onto the skin to bring radiance and purity. In Ayurvedic texts it's called Jayanti, the one who wins over disease. That same golden pigment that stains your fingertips is what gives turmeric its healing color. It's nature's reminder that health is meant to be vibrant, not dull. Turmeric in your routine. If you start using turmeric daily, even a small half teaspoon in cooking, you're nourishing your cells bit by bit. For anti-inflammatory purposes, studies suggest 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin extract per day, paired with piperine or fat. But you don't need capsules to feel its effects. You just need consistency, a warm cup, a calm moment, and the understanding that healing begins long before pain appears. So when I added turmeric to my nightly cherry drink, I wasn't just experimenting with flavor. I was honoring a lineage of healers who already knew that golden foods bring golden health. And that brings us to the other half of the story, the red warrior that completes the healing circle. 3. The red warrior, tart cherry juice. If turmeric is the golden sun of healing, then tart cherry juice is the cool crimson moon. One warms the body into balance, the other soothes it into rest. Meet the Montmorency cherry. The variety most studied for health is the Montmorency tart cherry, grown in the US and parts of Europe. Unlike sweet table cherries, these are intensely sour, and that sourness comes from anthocyanins, the deep red pigments that give them their medicinal power. Anthocyanins are not just pretty plant dyes, they're antioxidants that stabilize fragile blood vessels, improve circulation, and suppress the same inflammatory enzymes, COX-1 and COX-2, that many painkillers target. A 2018 clinical trial in Food and Function showed that adults who drank 2 cups of tart cherry juice daily for 12 weeks had significantly lower CRP and oxidative stress markers than those who drank a placebo. Recovery and joint health. That's why athletes love this juice. In studies with marathon runners, tart cherry juice reduced muscle soreness, accelerated recovery, and lowered post-exercise inflammation. It's gentle, natural, and rich in electrolytes like potassium, so it rehydrates while it heals. For those struggling with arthritis or gout, its benefits go even further. Tart cherries lower uric acid levels, helping prevent painful flare-ups. One study in Arthritis and Rheumatism, 2012, found that gout patients who consumed tart cherry extract had a 35% lower risk of attacks within 2 days. The sleep connection. But perhaps the most unique gift of tart cherries is their effect on sleep. These cherries naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to rest, and tryptophan, the amino acid that helps you produce serotonin, the mood-balancing neurotransmitter. In 2018, a study from Louisiana State University gave older adults a glass of tart cherry juice twice a day for 2 weeks. The participants increased their total sleep time by 84 minutes on average and reported higher sleep efficiency. That's nearly an extra hour of restorative rest from fruit. Antioxidant protection. Anthocyanins also guard your heart. They reduce LDL oxidation, the process that turns cholesterol dangerous, and improve endothelial function, keeping blood vessels elastic. In simpler words, they keep your blood flowing freely, your cells oxygenated, and your tissues young. Taste and experience. When you pour tart cherry juice into a glass, the color alone feels medicinal, like liquid ruby. Its first sip is sharp and tangy, followed by a gentle sweetness. That tartness stimulates salivation, signaling digestion to begin. For me, it became more than a drink, it became a nightly ritual. A moment when the day slowed down and I could literally taste the calm returning. By the third night of my 7-day trial, I noticed something unusual. I was falling asleep faster, and waking without that heavy, foggy feeling. Science explains it through melatonin and antioxidant repair, but I felt it as peace, my body finally exhaling. Complementing turmeric. And here's where the beauty lies. Tart cherry and turmeric target inflammation from 2 directions. Turmeric blocks the signals that cause it. Tart cherry cleans up the damage it leaves behind. One calms the flames, the other rebuilds the house. Together, they form a holistic approach to healing, not suppressing symptoms, but restoring balance. So as I mixed the golden powder into the ruby juice that first night, I realized I wasn't just combining ingredients. I was combining wisdom, Eastern Ayurveda, and Western nutrition, 2 ancient languages of healing finally speaking to each other. 4. The perfect combination, when science meets simplicity. When you put turmeric and tart cherry juice together, you're not just making a colorful drink, you're creating a synergy. In science, synergy means that 2 things, when combined, create an effect greater than the sum of their parts. Turmeric and tart cherry juice are a perfect example. One works deep inside your cells, reducing inflammatory pathways. The other works in your bloodstream, neutralizing free radicals and repairing oxidative damage. Together, they form a complete defense system, one calming the cause of inflammation, the other repairing the damage it leaves behind. Most of us think inflammation means just swelling or pain. But inside the body, inflammation is also cellular stress, small molecules attacking your cell membranes, DNA, and mitochondria. Turmeric's curcumin helps block those attacks. It acts like a smart switch, turning off excessive inflammatory messengers, especially one called NF-kappa B. When NF-kappa B is silent, the chaos inside your cells settles down. Meanwhile, tart cherry juice sweeps away the leftover oxidative waste, cleaning up the battlefield, so to speak. Its anthocyanins bind to free radicals before they can damage tissues or arteries. One cool study from 2021 in Nutrients Journal even showed that combining curcumin-rich foods with polyphenol-rich fruits like cherries or blueberries amplifies antioxidant effects by activating certain protective genes. That's the beauty of real food, it doesn't just work through one pathway. It communicates with your biology. And here's another layer, both ingredients support your natural circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. Turmeric helps balance cortisol, the stress hormone, which tends to spike at night if you're inflamed or anxious. Tart cherries provide melatonin, the sleep hormone, helping you relax and drift into restorative rest. So while one ingredient calms the fire, the other invites your body into recovery mode. That's why I started calling it the golden red rhythm. It doesn't just heal, it synchronizes you. And the recipe couldn't be simpler. 1 cup unsweetened tart cherry juice. 1/2 teaspoon turmeric powder, or fresh grated turmeric. A small pinch of black pepper. Optional, 1/2 teaspoon honey or a drop of lemon. Warm it gently, stir slowly, and watch the colors swirl, golden hues blending into ruby red. It feels symbolic, like watching balance form in a cup. I'd sit by the window at night, sip it slowly, and just breathe. That quiet ritual, 5 minutes of peace, was as healing as the ingredients themselves. Sometimes, it's not just what you drink, it's the intention behind it. 5. My 7-day experience, listening to the body's response. I've always believed our bodies speak, we just need to learn to listen. Over the next 7 days, I documented how I felt physically, mentally, and emotionally after adding this golden red drink to my nightly routine. Day 1, First Impressions. I remember holding the first glass. The color was beautiful, but the aroma was strong. The mix of tart fruit and earthy spice felt strange at first sip. About an hour later, I noticed warmth spreading through my stomach, not burning, just a soft comfort. That night, I slept deeply. It could have been placebo, but it was a peaceful start. Day 2, The Subtle Calm. The next morning, my stomach felt light. My usual post-breakfast bloating wasn't there. I realized later this was likely turmeric's bile-stimulating effect, helping my digestion process fats more efficiently. By the end of the day, I felt oddly relaxed, no jittery rush, no late afternoon energy crash. Day 3, Restful sleep begins. My third night felt different. My sleep came faster, and it was deeper. Tart cherries naturally raise melatonin levels, so my sleep quality improved without me even realizing it. I woke up refreshed, not groggy, not drowsy, just awake. Day 4, Pain relief in motion. I started noticing subtle physical changes. My knees, which sometimes clicked or ached when I climbed stairs, felt smoother. My morning stiffness, that heavy feeling in the joints, began to fade. Research actually supports this. In a 2016 study on osteoarthritis patients, daily curcumin intake reduced joint pain by nearly 50% in just a week. Day 5, Energy without coffee. By now, I'd replaced my usual late-night scrolling with a quiet moment and my drink. I felt calmer during the day, less irritable, more centered. I also noticed my skin looked clearer, possibly from reduced inflammation and better sleep. Inflammation affects not only your joints but also your skin barrier and collagen production. Day 6, The Deep Rest. I woke before my alarm, feeling light and energetic. The usual shoulder tension I carried was noticeably reduced. My breath felt deeper, my digestion more regular. Day 7, The Realization. On the 7th morning, I realized I had gone an entire week without waking up groggy, tired, or stiff. No miracle, no overnight change, just gradual balance. That's when it hit me, nature doesn't work fast, it works consistently. We live in a culture of instant relief, one pill, one fix. But our bodies were designed for rhythm, not shortcuts. This 7-day experiment reminded me that the simplest routines, when repeated with intention, can quietly transform how we feel. 6. The science behind the change. What's really happening inside your body? When you start to feel better after something as simple as a drink, it's easy to call it magic. But what's really happening inside your body is not magic, it's biochemistry aligning with nature. Let's explore that invisible transformation, step by step. Imagine your body is a vast city. Every organ, every cell, every tissue is like a neighborhood filled with tiny workers doing their job, repairing, cleaning, communicating. In a healthy body, this city hums with quiet efficiency. But when inflammation builds up, it's like smoke rising everywhere. Messages get distorted. Roads get blocked. Workers slow down. Turmeric and tart cherry juice act like firefighters and janitors working together, calming the flames, clearing the debris, and restoring order. 1. The inflammatory pathway reset. Your body uses chemical messengers called cytokines to signal inflammation, molecules like IL-6, TNF-alpha, and CRP. These are helpful in small amounts, but when they stay elevated, they start damaging healthy cells. Curcumin from turmeric blocks a molecular switch called NF-kappa B, the master controller of inflammation. When NF-kappa B stays on, your body keeps releasing cytokines. When curcumin quiets it down, inflammation gently subsides. Think of it as turning off a car engine that's been idling too long. The system cools, the energy rebalances. 2. The antioxidant army awakens. Meanwhile, tart cherries' anthocyanins enter the bloodstream. These deep red pigments are powerful antioxidants. Antioxidants don't destroy inflammation directly, they neutralize the oxidative stress that fuels it. Oxidative stress is what happens when unstable molecules called free radicals start bouncing around, damaging proteins, DNA, and even cell membranes. It's like rust forming inside your body. Anthocyanins act as natural rust removers, donating electrons to neutralize free radicals before they can harm your tissues. Over time, this reduces cellular aging, muscle soreness, and even post-exercise fatigue. 3. The hormonal balance, melatonin plus cortisol harmony. Now let's talk about your hormones, because inflammation and sleep are deeply connected. Tart cherries naturally contain melatonin, the hormone your body uses to regulate the sleep-wake cycle. When you drink cherry juice before bed, you gently raise melatonin levels, signaling your body that it's time to rest. At the same time, curcumin in turmeric helps lower cortisol, your stress hormone. High cortisol levels at night prevent deep sleep, keep your mind racing, and prolong inflammation. When melatonin rises and cortisol drops, your body enters true recovery mode. During this deep sleep, tissues regenerate, immune cells reset, and inflammatory messengers decrease naturally. 4. The gut connection. One of the most underrated effects of turmeric is its impact on the gut microbiome. Curcumin acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria that protect your gut lining. A healthy gut means a calmer immune system, because nearly 70% of your immune cells live in your gut wall. When your gut bacteria are balanced, they release compounds that lower inflammation not just locally, but throughout the entire body, even in your joints and brain. 5. The cellular regeneration. As this drink becomes part of your nightly rhythm, your cells start performing more efficiently. Mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, work better when oxidative stress is low. That's why people often say they feel lighter or more energized after a week or two. It's not imagination, it's improved cellular efficiency. And over time, that ripple effect spreads: better energy, improved skin glow, sharper mind, calmer mood. All of that, from two simple ingredients working in harmony. Turmeric soothes the cause. Cherry juice repairs the damage. One calms the fire. The other clears the ashes. That's how your body heals, quietly, intelligently, and beautifully. Healing isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's simply your body remembering how to be balanced again. 7. Practical tips, safety notes, and the realistic path to healing. I know by now you might be thinking, should I try it tonight? How do I start safely? And what results can I realistically expect? Let's talk about that gently and honestly. Quality matters more than quantity. Always use unsweetened tart cherry juice, the pure kind. Added sugar triggers inflammation and cancels the benefits you're trying to get. If fresh tart cherries are available, even better, blend a handful with water to make your own juice. For turmeric, quality is everything. Use organic turmeric powder or fresh root. The deeper the color, the higher the curcumin content. The magic of black pepper. Don't skip the pepper, even a tiny pinch makes a world of difference. The compound piperine in pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2000%. Without it, most of the curcumin simply passes through your digestive system unused. So if turmeric is the medicine, Pepper is the key that opens the door. Timing and routine. Drink this mixture 30 to 60 minutes before bed. That gives your body time to absorb the nutrients and begin melatonin production as you prepare to sleep. Keep lights dim and screens off after drinking it. Blue light suppresses melatonin and reduces the effect of tart cherry juice. Add healthy partners. You can enhance this drink's benefits with small additions. A few drops of coconut or olive oil helps turmeric absorption since it's fat-soluble. A pinch of cinnamon for added antioxidant boost. Or a squeeze of lemon for freshness and vitamin C synergy. Be consistent. The key to natural healing is consistency, not intensity. Don't expect a single glass to change your world. But drink it nightly for a week, then 2, and you'll start noticing subtle improvements: deeper sleep, reduced morning stiffness, calmer digestion, and better mood regulation. This is not about instant transformation. It's about quiet, gradual healing. Cautions. If you're on blood thinners, like warfarin, consult your doctor first. Both curcumin and tart cherries may slightly thin blood. If you have gallstones, ulcers, or acid reflux, start with smaller amounts, half a cup instead of a full cup, and see how your body reacts. Pregnant or nursing women should consult healthcare providers before taking concentrated turmeric or cherry extracts. How long to continue? Most studies on tart cherry and curcumin supplementation show benefits after 10 to 14 days. But for chronic inflammation or arthritis, consistent use for 4 to 6 weeks can produce measurable results. After that, you can continue it 3 to 4 times a week as maintenance. The realistic mindset. The biggest secret? Don't treat it like a challenge. Treat it as a nightly ritual, a small act of kindness toward your body. Sit quietly, breathe, and sip slowly. Feel the warmth of turmeric, the tartness of cherries, the grounding aroma of black pepper. Let it be your signal that the day is ending, and your body can rest. Because true healing isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing it with intention. The people who see real results aren't the ones who chase trends, they're the ones who build gentle consistency. 8. Final thoughts. The quiet miracle of consistency. As the week came to an end, I realized something profound. Healing doesn't happen in a lab or a clinic. It happens in silence, at home, in small rituals, in moments when you choose calm over chaos. For 7 nights, I poured a glass of that golden red blend, tart cherry juice, turmeric, black pepper, and drank it slowly before bed. Some nights were peaceful, others were restless, but each one felt a little easier than the last. And as the days went on, I noticed subtle shifts: softer mornings, deeper rest, clearer thoughts. It wasn't dramatic or sudden. It was quiet, like a fog slowly lifting. That's when it struck me: this is what real wellness feels like. It's not about chasing the next miracle. It's about returning to balance, to the rhythm our bodies were designed to follow. Turmeric and tart cherry juice reminded me that nature doesn't work fast, but it always works faithfully. It's not a detox. It's a reconnection. When you give your body the right nourishment, rest, and attention, it knows exactly what to do. I started this experiment curious about inflammation. I ended it grateful, for sleep, for movement, for stillness. Science gave me the logic. Nature gave me the proof. And now, every night when I warm that cup and watch its colors swirl, gold meeting red, I'm reminded that even in a fast world, healing can still be slow, and that's okay. If you try this for yourself, don't rush it. Take 7 nights, maybe 14. Sip it slowly. Notice how your body responds, not just your joints, but your energy, your mind, your peace. Because inflammation isn't only physical, it's emotional too. It's the tension, the worry, the constant running. And when you take this time each night, you're not just calming your body, you're telling your mind, you are safe now. So tonight, when you finish listening to this podcast, maybe pour yourself a small cup, even if it's just warm water with a dash of turmeric, and sit quietly for 5 minutes. Breathe. Let your body exhale the day. Let your heart soften. Let your healing begin gently, quietly, naturally. Because the smallest habits, when done with love, can create the biggest changes. This has been Home Cooking and Home Remedies. I'm your host, and I hope this story reminds you to believe again, not in quick fixes, but in your body's ability to restore itself with the simplest gifts of nature. Until next time, stay grateful, stay grounded, and let the golden red glow guide you home.